Questions. O 5 habits every woman needs for a confident life. Ladies and gentlemen, life has given woman a beautiful gift, the gift of strength disguised in softness. Yet, questions. Confidence is something you are born with, it's something you build, like muscles in the gym, and today. Ivantoshare 5 habits that can make a woman unstoppable, unshakable and unbelievably confident. The habit of self-talk. If you don't speak kindly to yourself, the world will define you wrongly. Every morning. Questions. Instead of rushing to Instagram, rush to the mirror, look at yourself and say, I am enough, I am capable. Questions. I am beautiful in my own vibe. If you become your own leader, no critics in the world can become your destroyer. Questions. The habit of boundaries. Confidence is not about saying anything yes to everything. Sometimes it's about saying no with grace. Questions. Don't let you like a doormat. Even the most beautiful carpet loses its harmless keep whipping their shoes on it. Questions. Learn to draft healthy boundaries in relationships, in career, even with your own phone. Questions. The habit of continually learning. Confidence grows when competence grows. Learn. Invest in skills. Skill without knowledge makes you fearless. Remember, diamonds shine not without they are stones, without they are suit, polished, refined. Every woman here is a diamond in process. Questions. The habit of care confidence is impossible if you are always drained. Taking care of your health, sleeping, and emotions is luxury. It is necessity if your phone battery shows at 5% you panics. But when your body and mind are at 5%, you say infine. No, reharge yourself. The habit of gratitude and giving back. A grateful heart is the most confident heart. Gratitude shifts focus from what you lack of heart you have and giving back through kindness, service, or even a smile multiples confidence. As Gaur Gopal does he says, podemos rejuvenecer ourselves. Questions. The deeper your own roads of happiness growth. It tells a story of woman real or metaphorical who applied these habits. For example, questions. A young professional constantly doubted herself. She began affirming, setting boundaries, learning, trying for herself, practicing gratitude. Within months, her confidence transformed her presence at work and home. Makeilik seated with humor. Questions. Poearlier her boss asked a question. She used office per like a mouse. Now she speaks like a Wi-Fi, clear confident. Questions. And everyone connects to her energy. My dear sisters, confidence is not about comparison. Roses don't compete with lotuses. Ye both are beautiful. The question is not. Tami better than her. The question is questions. Bam I bertan vhoi was yesterday built these 5 habits. Valkinto a Rome, not waiting for approval, but radiating authenticity. Questions. Without a confident woman rises, she does used uplift herself. She uplifts an entire generation. And with a pause smile and złożone ręce. Questions. Confidence is built not inherit money people believe confidence is like a color. Either you are born with it or you are not. Questions. Confident people used to have it all together from the beginning like it's a natural gift. But me tell you a secret. Confidence is never inherited, is built. It's not a luxury reserved for the chosen few. Questions. It's a skill that every single person can develop through consistent habits, just like learning to talk, play an instrument. Questions as. Think about this. When a baby takes its very first step, does it well perfectly? No, the baby falls. It tumbles. Questions. It sometimes even hits its head on the chalk and starts crying. But here is the beauty. No baby says, powalking is for me. Questions. Il just crave al me life. No, the baby gets up again, wobbles a little more, and eventually walks. First, without walking is a learned skill, not a gift. Confidence is exactly the same. Nobody starts confident. We all stumble, we all fall. Questions. But the more we practice, the stronger we stand. Take the simple example of the driving a car. Questions. The first time you sat in the driver's seat, your hands were sweating, your eyes were popping wide open. Jo presset de brakke visferlike de carva saboto explode. But after weeks and months of practice, questions, driving bezame setsont nature, no if you don't even think about it, you talk on the phone to you should, ships of questions songs, all feel driving, fat hanged, not the car, not the road, not the traffic. Fat hanged was your confidence, and that confidence was built step by step. In life to questions. Confidence doesn't suddenly appear morning click as soon through your window. It is developed through questions, small victorious questions. And daily choices, imagine someone who is terrified of public speaking. The first time she goes on stage, her legs shake, her throat dries up, and she can hardly remember her lines. But she does it anyway. The second time she's still nervous. Questions, but a little better. The time she's fluent, her voice is strong, her presence commands attention. Did she inherit confidence? Questions. No she built like a house, bridge by bridge, spec by spec. Confidence is also built when we stop waiting for perfect conditions. Many of us say they will be confident when I lose weight, when I get that job, when people accept me, when I have more money. But the truth is questions. Confidence is the result of those things. It's the cause of those things. Questions. A woman who believes in herself before the world does eventually attracts the job, the respect and the opportunities. Confidence comes not after success, success comes after confidence. Here is a daily life example. Questions. Have you ever noticed someone entering a room full of strangers? Some walking with their shoulders down, eyes glued to the floor, and gently slip into a corner. Others walk in with energy, smile at people and instantly lick up the room. What's the difference? Questions. The first person eating to feel confident before acting. The second person acts confident first, and that action itself creates confidence. You sleep when you smile, even if you are a sapiens. The act of smiling sends signals to your brain and lifts your mood. Confidence works the same way. Act it before you feel it, and soon you'll feel it. Think about the woman who inspires the most. Were they born fearless? No, Oprah Winfrey. Questions. One of the most confident women on the planet came from a background of poverty and hardship. Questions. She did inherit confidence, she bullied by facing reaction, by practicing, by continuing despite failures. Questions. Malala Yousafzai did become confident overnight, she faced unimaginable fear and pain, but through a host of zoura. Questions. She built confidence that now inspires millions. In your own life, you can start small. Questions. Confidence is only about standing on big stages or running companies. It's in daily choices. It's saying benoif when you want to without guilt. It's speaking up in a meeting even when your voice shakes. Questions. It's introducing yourself with a smile to a stranger at a party. A very small become a building block. Questions. Just like muscles grow when you lift weights repeatedly. Confidence grows when you practice zourage repeatedly. Remember, the first chapati you ever made was probably not round, it looked like the map of Africa. But you did stop. You practiced, improved, and today your family is soft, round chapatis. Confidence is your chapati. It will never be perfect in the beginning. Questions. But with practice, it will shape beautifully. And most importantly, confidence is not about being louder than others. Questions. It's about being truer to yourself. You don't need to be like someone else to feel confident. Questions. A rose does to become a sunflower and yet it blooms with pride. You only need to become a better version of yourself. Questions. So the next time you think, też confident becał się ludzki, or becał się beautiful, or becał się was born by, remind yourself, no one is born confident. They built it, and if they can build it, so can you. Confidence is not a gift given at birth. It's a skill you craft daily with your thoughts, your choices, your actions. A very stumble, questions, a failure, a very little victory risk in the building of your confidence. And the day you realize that confidence is built, questions, not inherited, the day you stop waiting for life to give you permission, and you start giving yourself permission to shine. Questions. Boundaries are a protection, not reaction. One of the greatest sources of confidence in life is the ability to draw boundaries. Yet, questions. This is so missing many people, especially women struggle with, from childhood. Society conditions women to be polite at some dating and always available. The problem is, when you spend your life trying to please everyone, you slowly lose yourself. You give away your time, your pace, your energy, and in the process, your confidence begins to drain. Boundaries are not about pushing people away. They are about protecting your heart, your dignity, and your self-respect. Questing about your house. You lock on your front door, not because you hate people, but because you want to protect your home. You decide for comes in and for doest. Similarly, your life needs boundaries, your time, your emotions, your mental health, these are your treasures. Without boundaries, people can walk all over them. Questions. Just like uninvited bugging into your home, setting boundaries is not reaction, it's protection. It says, questions. They respect myself enough to decide what enters my space and what doest. Let me give you a daily life example. Questions. Imagine a friend who constantly calls you late at night to complain about her problems. At first, you listen out of kindness. Questions. But then it becomes a habit. She calls every night, and you sacrifice your sleep, pace, and your next morning's energy. Slowly, you start resenting her. But here is the truth. She is not the problem. The problem is your lack of boundaries. Questions. The day lovingly tell her, we really care about you, but you need to rest at night. Let's talk during the day. You will notice a huge shift. You haven't reacted her, you will protect your well-being. And in doing so, you will build confidence to stand for your needs. Boundaries also apply in relationships. Questions. Many men feel guilty saying to family or partners. They worry if you don't agree. Questions. Will they still love me? But real love does vanish if you set your limits. In fact, questions. Healthy relationships grow stronger when boundaries are respected. Think about a river. If a river flows without banks, questions. It floods the land, destroys everything. But when the river has clear boundaries, its water nourishes fields, when has thirst. Quest listens. Love to needs boundaries to flow in a healthy direction, without becoming suffocating, overwhelming, question abusive. At work, boundaries are equally important. Many women feel pressure to say yes to every request, extra tasks, questions, overtime, even responsibilities that aren't theirs, used to be seen as pogot employees. But here is the problem. When you always say yes, people will assume you has no value. Slowly you burn out and your confidence collapses. Questions. A confident no is not rebellion, it's wisdom. Imagine a zolle agui dumping on you that is yours. If you say post questions, we will love to help, but imarea di focus on my tasks, you're not being rude. You're respecting your role. Antironicale. People respect tose for respect themselves. Many confuse boundaries with vals. Vals should people out. Questions. But boundaries imite people in these conditions that are healthy for both sides. A val says o stay away. A boundary says pay value or connection, but here is how we can stay connected without harming a hoser. Even technology needs boundaries. Questions. Often do we lose a horse strolling on social media, comparing ourselves with others, and feeling drained. Confidence is when we spend more time in other people's lives than our own. Questions. A simple boundary like no phone in the first 30 minutes zawking up albo screen off after 10 p.m. Questions. I can completely your energy. Protecting your mental space from endless notifications is not rejection of the world questions, it's protection of your inner pace. Here is another daily example. Supposose someone always mas yakes at your expensing settings. You log along but inside, you feel hurt. Confiance comes when you stop pretending it's fine and gently say questions. They appreciate if you don't joke about that. If that on a sentence talk small can shift your entire self-image. You are no longer a passive receiver of disrespect. You are an active protector of your dignity. Questions, tas dendaries, they don't use you advocate you from others, they rebuild how you see yourself. Boundaries also protect your time. Many women sacrifice personal dreams because they are fulfilling everyone else's expectations. Questions. But the truth is you can pour from an empty cup. Imagine an airplane emergency. Desafet instruction always says. Questions. Opu your oxygen mask confused before helping others. Befhe. Because if you collapse, you can save no one else. Life works the same way. If you don't get your time for rest, and dreams, growths, you can truly serve your family. Career, questions. A boundary that protects your time is not selfishness, it's self-preservation. Confidence thrives when you live a life on your terms, not constantly under pressure to satisfy others. Questions. And boundaries are the invisible in a stat market is possible. They say to the world, what this is how this is fatty all of tions. And this is what don't. If they don't make you arrogant, they make you sentient. So the next time you hesitate to set a boundary, remember this? Even your phone has a password. If your phone deserves protection, does your soul deserve it even more? Boundaries are not about rejecting people. They are about protecting your energy and your words. And when you learn this your confidence will no longer depend on how others treat you. It will come from within, from the strength of knowing that you have honored yourself. Questions. Continuous empowerment confidence is not a product of magic, it is the fruit of consistent growths. And growth only comes when we commit to continuous learning. Life is a university where every single day gives us lessons. Some are small, some are huge, but all of them shape forward become. Questions. The more you learn, the more capable you feel. And the more capable you feel, the more confident you become. Questions. Think about when you first learned to talk. The first time you entered the kitchen, even boiling water seemed like a mission. Maybe you burned your first chapati or added extra salt to the curry. But slowly with trial, error and learning, you become better. Questions. To talk with confidence because knowledge lecz turned into skill. This is the same principle in every area of life. Competence, confidence. And competence only through continuous learning. Questions. Many people make the mistake of thinking learning stops after school or college. They think we got my degree, nothing enough. But life is constantly hanging. Technology, culture, relations, nothing stays still. If we stop learning, we start shrinking. Just like stagnant water starts to smell bad, a stagnant mint starts to lose its freshness. Confidence cannot grow in a stale mint. It needs the oxygen of new knowledge, new skills, and new perspectives. Questions. Take the example of a woman who decides to re-enter the workforce after years of raising her family. She might feel nervous, thinking, oh, the world has moved on. I don't know if there's new tools or systems. But if she takes the initiative to learn, whether it's a new software, new communication style, questions, or even upgrading professional skills, she suddenly feels empowered. Wchad was once intimidating becomes manageable. Her confidence doesn't come from pretending to know. It comes from the humility to keep learning. Another daily life example. Questions. Have you noticed how children learn? A hit falls 100 years before learning to walk, but a fall is a lesson. They don't sit there saying, por if I let, I will never walk again. E they learn balance, they learn teaming, questions, and some they are running around the house. As adults we forget this attitude, one failure, one reaction, and we say questions. Poim not got enough. We you stopped learning. The moment we pick up the attitude of a hilt again, the willingness to trust questions. Fail and learn, confidence come batzliche oxygen, learning just always mean formal education. It means being serious about life. It means reading books that expand your mind, listening to people with different experiences, attending workshops, questions, or even observing your own mistakes. For example, if you quarrel with a close friend, questions. You can either blame them endlessly or pause and ask, how can I learn about myself from this situation? Maybe I need to communicate better, maybe I need more patience. Questions. If you learn conflicts instead of you suffering through them, you turn pain into wisdom, and wisdom into confidence. Let's look at another angle. Imagine a woman who starts learning public speaking. At first her voice trembles, and she forgets her words, but she does stop. She reads books on communication practices daily, what has great speakers, questions, and learns techniques. Over time, knowledge becomes second nature. She steps on stage with confidence, questions, not better disappeared, but better she equipped herself with learning. Her learning becomes her armor, her shield. Her strengths, even in spiritual life, learning plays a key role. A woman who reads wisdom literature reflects on it and applies it daily, develops emotional intelligence. She learns how to deal with anger, disappointment, and stress. Slowly, questions. She realizes she doesn't have to react to a very negative comment or a very bad day. This learning gives her inner stability. Questions. A sensibility is the deepest form of confidence. The kind that no external situation can shake. Here is some messing practical questions. Every single day ask yourself of how did you learn today? Maybe you learned a new recipe. Maybe you learned how to handle a tough conversation. Maybe you learned something about yourself. Questions. It down creates a habit of growth. And the more you grow, the more fearless you become. Confidence built on learning is unshakable because it doesn't depend on ludzk appearance or temporary success. Questions. If you know you can learn, you are never stuck. Lost a job, you can learn a new skill. Facing difficulties in relationships, questions. You can learn better communication. Struggling with health, you can learn better habits. Learning makes you resourceful. Questions. And resourcefulness is the foundation of confidence. Remember that all stress in the forest didn't stop growing after a few years. Questions. They kept stretching towards the sun, season after season, year after year. That's who they stand tall and strong today. Questions. In the same way, women who keep learning never shrink with time. They become wiser, stronger, more radiant with every passing year. Questions. So you see someone confident, don't assume they were always that way. Begin their confidence years of learning. Mistakes, questions, correct skills and growths. And if they can't learning, so can you. Commit to being a lifelong learner. Read, listen, observe, practice, reflect. Let your mind be like a sponge, always ready to soak up new wisdom. Questions. Everything you learn adds another bridge to the fortress of your confidence. Questions. Continuous learning truly is continuous empowerment. And the day you embrace this habit, you will discover that confidence is something you wait for. It is something you create, on a lesson at a time. Questions. Self-care is strength, not selfishness in today's fast-paced world. Many women carry a silent burden. Questions. The idea that taking care of themselves is selfish. They put everyone else first. Children, parents, spouses, colleagues. Questions. Even strangers, and only when everything is done, when the house is clean, the work is finished, and everyone is asleep. Questions. They finally think about themselves. But pretend they are too tired to do anything except collapse. Slowly, this steadily drains not only their body but also their mind and spirit. And then come the dangerous belief. Or maybe this is how it has to be. You would let me tell you, self-care is not selfishness. It is strength. Questions. It is the foundation of confidence, because when you are healthy, rested, and balanced, you can show up fully for the world. Questions. Think of mobile phone. When the battery runs out, no matter how expensive or beautiful the phone is, it's useless. Questions. You don't call it selfish when you plug it into the charger. You don't feel guilty for giving it energy. In the same way, questions. You are no less important than your phone. If you don't recharge yourself, you can't function at your best. Yet, questions. Many women keep running on the love battery mode for days, months and years until burnout knocks them down. Questions. Tak jakim to recharge is luxury, it's necessity. Let's look at a simple daily example. A mother wakes up early, prepares meals, sends her children to school, goes to work, handles deadliness, returns home, cooks dinner, and finally late at night. Questions. She realizes she hasn't properly rested at all. Fenties betsomes routine, her energy mode, and even health begin to suffer. Questions. Resentment grows. She loves her family, but she feels invisible. Now, imagine if this same mother decided, the very morning, before I talk for others, I will take 15 minutes to meditate, stretch or even shift in peace. Questions. That on acts of self-care will not only give her strength, but also improve how she shows up for her family. Questions. Instead of snapping at small, she brings calmness. Instead of feeling drained, she radiates energy. Questions. Her self-bezogen very honest benefit. Self-care has many forms. It can be physical like exercising, eating healthy. Questions. Or sleeping on time. It can be emotional like journaling, speaking to a saying, bonor friend overwhelmed. It can be spiritual. Questions. Like meditating or reading something uplifting. Erst is a declaration, to evaluate myself. And when you evaluate yourself, your confidence naturally rises. Society often glorifies sacrifice, especially for women. True sacrifice is sustainable only when it comes from fullness, not emptiness. Imagine pouring water into 10 cups from a jug that is already empty. Nothing will come out. But if the jug is full, it can overflow into a very cup. Self-care fills your jug. It ensures that your giving is joyful, not resentful. Questions. Here another relatable example. A woman at work says yes to every request, stays late every day, and sacrifices weekends. At first, people praise her dedication, but soon she becomes exhausted, her health suffers, and her enthusiasm fades. Questions. This to another woman who sets boundaries, takes breaks, goes for evening walks, and spends quality time with herself. Questions. She returns to work refreshed, more productive. The difference. Self-care. On a woman trained herself in the name of service, the other served better, because she cared for herself first. Even nature teaches us this. The sun shines every day, but it also sets every evening. It rests. Questions can rise again with brilliance the next morning. The seasons hang, the trees shed leaves, the soil rests before the next crop grows. Rest and renewal art of creation. If nature itself pauses to recharge. Questions. Vrijdoveting must run endlessly without rest. Self-care also involves mental health. Questions. Man even smide but silently struggling inside with stress, anxiety or even depression. Questions. The confident thing is not to hide, but to seek help. Fresher through counseling, talking to a trusted friend, pions, operates teaching mindfulness. Taking care of your mind is not weakness, it is wisdom. Because a calm mind creates a confident presence. Questions. Another powerful daily act of self-care is saying no. Imagine you are already tired, and someone asks you to do an extra task that is urgent. If you say yes out of guilt, you hurt yourself. But if you say no with kindness, you protect your energy. That ponoi becomes an act of self-love. And when you love yourself enough to protect your well-being, confidence blossoms. Self-care is also about joy. Questions. Women wait for big occasions to celebrate life, birthdays, anniversaries, festivals. But he not create small joys every day. Listening to your favorite song, enjoying a warm bath, reading a pages of a book, passing the sunset. Tese little as my same small, but they heal your spirit. And a healed spirit is a confident spirit. Remember this. When you neglect yourself, you think others that you don't matter. But when you care for yourself, you think others have to treat you. You show them that your change, your health, and your happiness are valuable. And this silent lesson inspires more than any words. So the next time someone says, self-care is selfish, questions, smile and remind yourself, only a strong tree can give a shadow, only a lit lamp can light another, only a nourished woman can uplift her family, her work, and her world. Self-care does take away from others. Questions, it gives strength to give more, love more, and live more. Questions, consequences when you stop saying self-care as indulgence and start saying it as empowerment. Because when your body is healthy, your mind is peaceful, and your life is joyful, your naturally stand taller, speak clearer, and shine brighter. Self-care is not a luxury, it is the foundation of a confident life. Questions. Gratitude multiples utere is a silent power that can transform the way we see ourselves, the way we face the world. And that power is gratitude. Many people in confidence only comes from success, beauty, or achievements. But the truth is, confidence shines brightest in those who practice gratitude. Because gratitude shifts our attention away from lack and for success it on had we already have. And when you start to see your life as abundant, you walk, talk and live with natural confidence. Think about your mornings. Questions. Many of us wake up and the first thought is, Pochno, I have so much to do today. Questions. Your face life is so hard, I would fat if the first thought was, but thank you for this breath, thank you for another day, thank you for the chance to try again. That on a simple shift changes your entire energy. Instead of dragging yourself into the day, you receive strength. Gratitude makes your heart light, and when your heart is light, your presence is so much powerful. Take a daily example. Imagine 2 women working in the same office, both face the adlines, stress and the same workload. One question centrally compliance, po my boss is unvermittelagues are unhelpful, I am exhausted. Her face reflects irritations, her energy feels heavy. The exercise is, work is hard, but I am grateful I have a that pays my bills. Questions. Grateful for the skills I am learning, grateful even for the challenges because they make me stronger. Questions. If do you think you're confident in meetings? Who more respect? It is the woman who says gratitude. Because gratitude hangs posture tone, and even the way others respond to you. Questions. Gratitude used about saying few when things are good. True gratitude is finding blessings even in difficulties. Questions. When halme most people lose confidence because they focus only on problems. But a grateful person asks, what is this teaching me? How is this shaping me? If, for example, if you go through a breakup, gratitude remains you. Questions. At least I know what I don't want, and I am stronger because of this experience. I gratitude does any pain, but it transforms pain into purpose. And when you live with that perspective, your confidence cannot be shaken by temporary storms. There is also another side to gratitude, giving back. When you are truly grateful, you don't just keep the blessings for yourself. Questions. You share them. Think of a candle. If it lights another candle, it does lose its flame. In fact, the room become brighter. Questions. In the same way, when you help someone, support someone, or simply smile at someone, your own confidence grows. Because giving back reinforces the belief that your life matters, that you have something valuable to offer. Questions. And when you believe you matter, confidence becomes natural. Consider a simple example. A woman for the speaker buses schedule questions. Tak is time to mentor a younger sollague. She shares her experience guides her through mistakes and encourages her. What happens? Questions. The younger solle ague growths, but the mentor also fails at the presence of worse. Questions. That failing, poi have so messing meaningful to contribute, is the road of lasting confidence. Questions. Gratitude fohe of njorne garde desire to give back, and that acts of giving magnified her self-belief. Questions. Even small acts of gratitude can create big ripples, saying po thank you the person for service your tea. Questions. Smiling the security guard, appreciating your healed small efforts, tese my log minor, but they hang the atmosphere. Questions. And when you become the source of positivity around you, people naturally vitate to you. This social energy, this respect and warmth from others builds your confidence further. Questions. An aspect of verful attitude is how it hangs self-image. Many women constantly criticize themselves. Questions. Be I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not doing enough. This constant negativity kills confidence. Questions. But when you practice gratitude towards yourself, everything hangs. Look in the mirror and instead of saying, po my hair is messy. Questions. I say, po I'm grateful for this body that carries me every day. I'm grateful for my eyes that see, my hands that walk, my hair that fails. I slowly the inner critic turns into an inner supporter. And when your inner voice becomes grateful, your outer presence becomes confident. Think of it like it is. Imagine it's a ring, a bag of stones all day. Every complaint you make at another stone. Soon you are bent over, tired and sloth. Now imagine it's a ring, a bag of flowers. Tions way to the you express at a flower. Suddenly the bag smells sweet, it feels licked, and people are attracted to it. Complaints make your spirit heavy, gratitude makes it radiant. And confidence can never grow in heaviness. Questions. It blooms naturally in likeness. Gratitude also creates resilience. Life is never free from difficulties. Questions. But gratitude gives us to say, poiestis his heart, but he still have reasons to smile. Et that strength, that resilience. Questions. Question shakable. Imagine a woman follows her job. One perspective says, poi am a failure, my life is over. Questions. I another perspective says, I am grateful I had that experience and I have a space to find something better. Questions. If a woman will walk into her next interview with more confidence, the only thought is gratitude in her hair. So vestite gratitude daily. Keep a small journal and write 3 things you are thankful for every night. Questions. Some days it will be big, but I got promoted. Other days it will be small, but I enjoyed a hot soup of tea in piazza. Questions. I buteverent will slowly reveal your mind to focus on abundance, not lack, and that shift will make you more confident than any external achievement ever told. Gratitude multiplies joy. The more you thank life for what you have, the more life gives you reasons to be thankful, and with every reason, your confidence grows. Not from arrogance, not from comparison, but from a inner knowing. I am blessed, I am capable. Question venog. Et that is the kind of confidence that cannot be shaken by circumstances, but also it does come from outside. It grows from within. Questions. Gratitude multiplies joy when we think of confidence. Most people imagine standing tall, speaking boldly, or achieving great success. Questions. But very few realize that the deepest road of confidence in gratitude. Gratitude is like a sacred fuel, invisible. But powerful enough to lift your entire personality. Without gratitude, even the most successful people feel empty, insecure, and questions, and restless. With gratitude, even in struggles and challenges, you radiate calmness, strength, and confidence that others can feel. To gratitude matters so much. Bezause gratitude hanges focus. Most people spend their lives looking at what they lack. Questions. I don't have enough money. My house is big enough. My body is perfect. My life is like hers. Questions. And when you constantly stare at what is missing, you shrink inside. You walk into a room already feeling less. Questions. But gratitude flip the perspective. It makes you say, yes, maybe I don't have everything, but I have something. I have my breas, questions, my talents, opportunities, my lessons. And that shift makes you stand straighter, smile brighter, and believe deeper in yourself. And that is real confidence. Think of a simple morning, questions. On a woman wakes up and the first thing she says is, Boh no, it's Monday again, so mug walk im already tired. Questions. E another woman wakes up and whispers, Bo thank you for this new day, thank you that im analive, thank you for another handset to three questions. I bos woman live in the same world, face simile halenges, gions, bune drags herself trog live file de oservals vis liegt in her heart. For do you think looks more confident at walk, invest a mille and even in her own mirror, de one fohoses gratitude. Let's look at a daily example. Questions. Imagine a woman standing in front of her wardrobe, saying, "I have nothing to wear." And yet her cupboard is full of clothes. This constant comparison with others. Or she has better dresses, better shoes, better style, steals her joy. Questions. Imagine another woman with the same wardrobe. She looks at on a dress and says, "I'm grateful for this gift from my sister." Questions. She looks at another and says, "Oh, this honor reminds me of a special celebration." Suddenly, her heart fills with appreciation. Questions. And when she walks out, it's not the dress that makes her confident, it's the gratitude she carries. Questions. Because gratitude always makes you shine more than fabrics ever sold. Gratitude also turns pain into power. Life is not perfect. Questions. Everyone faces heartbreaks, failures or losses. A woman without the looks at failure and sighs, PM finished. Questions. A woman with gratitude looks at the same failure and sighs, I am grateful I learned something. I am grateful I became stronger. Questions. I am grateful I face redirecting me. That attitude does terrace pain, but it transforms pain into purpose. And when you can turn wounds into wisdom, you stand tall even in storms. That is unshakable confidence. Gratitude is not just about saying when things are good, it is about finding blessings in every situation. Think about rain. Some complain, doch no, my clothes will wet, the traffic will be horrible. Others smile. But thank you for this rain, it will cool the airs, it will nourish the crops, it will give us food. The rain is the same. Questions. But the experience is different. Gratitude doesn't hang the situation, it hangs the way you see it. And when your vision hangs, your energy hangs. That energy is what people call confidence. Another powerful effect of gratitude is how it inspires generosity. A grateful heart naturally wants to give back. When you realize how you have been blessed with education, family, or opportunities, you feel the joy of sharing it with others. And here is the secret. When you give your confidence grows. Questions. Imagine taking a young skill you know. You see them improve and suddenly you realize I don't have value to share. Questions. That realization makes you value. Confidence doesn't come from comparing with others. It comes from contributing to others. Xienens, good is the doorway to that contribution. Even small practices of gratitude can transform your life. Imagine keeping a gratitude journal. Where every night you eat 3 things you are thankful for. Some days it might be big, a promotion, good health, your full celebration. Other days it might be small, a hot soup of high. A smile from your hilt, a peaceful walk, but a very entry adds a layer of strengthens slowly. You mind become strained to notice abundance instead of lack. And when your heart says abundance, your confidence flows naturally. Questions. Gratitude also hangs relationships. A woman who constantly complains about partner. Pa he doest do enog. Tions. He doest sai enog, he doest sare enog. Will feel frustrated and insecure. But a woman who says. Questions. I am grateful for the little things he does, the effort he makes, the presence he gives will feel happier, lighter, more loved. Questions. and when you feel loved you naturally radiate confidence. Gratitude doest bind you to imperfections. But it remains to see the God even in the imperfect. Her is an oser daily pitsture. Advoct for woman finish a project. On a size, poits about tiang gave me credit. I deserve more. Her face looks restless, her energy impatient. The other size, questions. Being grateful for the team that supported me, for the hands to learn and for this recognition. Her face gloves with humility. For will attracts more trust, more respect and more opportunities. The grateful on questions. Gratitude creates an aura that others want to be around, and that aura is fed with cultural confidence. So next time you feel love, instead of saying, I have nothing, I pause and sound what you do have. Gratitude tur focus from emptiness to fullness, questions, from scarcity to abundance, and that shift is the foundation of confidence. Bezause when you knof you already have so many questions. You're talking with fear of what had you lack, you start walking with pride in what you hold. Gratitude multiplies joy. It turns ordinary days into blessings, ordinary melts into fears, ordinary people into treasures. And when your heart is full of joy, your presence is full of confidence. Gratitude is not just a habit, it is a lifestyle that makes you unshakable, radiant and deeply alive. Questions. Giving back boasts self-worth is a deep truth about life that many people overlook. The more you give, the richer you feel. Real confidence doesn't come only from what you have or what you own. It will grow stronger when you realize that your presence makes a difference in someone else's life. Giving back, whether it's your time, questions, your wisdom, your resources, or even your kindness has a magical way of reminding you that you matter. And when you know you matter, questions elvos rises, that involves is the foundation of lasting confidence. Think about it, questions. Have you ever helped someone carry their bags, guided someone who was lost, or shared your lunch with a hungry colleague? Questions. In that small moment did you feel lighter inside? Did you feel a supple joy that no amount money or price could give you? That is the secret power of giving back. It makes you realize that you have the capacity to bring into someone else's life. Question this realization creates an absence of words. Daily life gives us endless chances to give back. Questions. A woman fomentos a junior colleague at work does just help the colleague grow. She also strengthens her own confidence. Questions. Evaim shares her knowledge, she remains herself, I have value, I have experience, I have wisdom to offer. Questions. Imagine an other woman who volunteers on weekends to teach underprivileged children. She might not earn a single rupee from it, but a very smile she receives a very curious question from a hilt. Fills her heart with pride. Her confidence grows because she says proof that her existence is meaningful. Even at home giving back boasts self-worth. Questions. A grandmother telling bedtime stories to her grandchildren is just passing time. She is giving them imagination, values, and questions. And in return she feels needed, respected, and loved. That sense of being needed is confidence. Questions. A woman who talks with love for family is not just filling stomachs, she is giving care and comfort. The gratitude she receives makes her feel valued. Giving back never leaves you empty. It always fills you with something greater than what you gave. Now let's look at the opposite. Imagine someone who only lives for themselves, never sharing, never giving back. At first, they might feel secure in their little world. But slowly emptiness creeps in fuge. Because human beings are designated not just to take to questions. A lake is not become stagnant. But a river that flows giving its water to fields and villages stays fresh. Questions. In the same way when your life flows earth in combustion, you stay fresh, alive and confident. Here is a simple story. A woman working in a corporate felt Stutsk. She told the point of all this. My work fails me in English. E one dai, questions, she decidet to volunteer an oger homon sundais. At first she just listenet to stories of the elders. Soon, she began reading books to them, organizing games, and simply sitting with them. They lit up their loneliness fadet, and they began to wait eagerly for her visits. Slowly, her own sense of was returned. She realized that her life was limited to office walls. She mattered in the smallest of those people. Questions. Her confidence not from promotions, but from contribution. Giving Deutsch always mean money or grand gestures. Questions. It can be as simple as listening judgment from a friend is upset and encouraging someone for false love. Questions. Or offering it to a stranger. Even this small als hange de rund jo and inside jo. When you lift others, you also lift yourself. When you remind others of their words, you also remind yourself of your own actions. An other beautiful but giving batski state kills insecurity. Often, we feel small bezause we compare ourselves with others, their beauty, success, or life style. But the moment you focus on giving, comparison disappears. You no longer ask me as God as her insti. You ask questions. How can I help that shift takes you out of insecurity and puts you into service? And service always brings dignity. Dignity always brings confidence. Think of nature again. A tree gives shade fruits and oxygen without asking for anything in return. Questions. Does the tree ever feel insecure about its height compared to another tree? No, it just gives. And bezause gives. Everyone recognizes its value. Similarly, when a woman chooses to give back to her family, community, those questions, or workplaces need to boast, her contribution speaks for itself. That contribution builds her reputation. Questions. And reputation strengthens her self-worth. Imagine it for a woman walking into a room. One has expensive and very good things only about herself. The other side is very good is compassion, encouragement, questions and kindness. Fichone duting people will remember and respect more. The sets und one bezase beauty fades, money hanges, tions, but the impulse giving lasts forever. And the woman for realizes she has left an imprint of godness in others' hearts naturally walks with unshakable confidence. So, questions. Start giving by start fell authentic to you. Share your time with your parents. Share encouragement with atzoleague. Questions. Share knowledge with someone younger. Share kindness with strangers. Hajt will echo back to you in the form of self-worth. And slowly you will discover that confidence is not about being the loudest in the room, it's about knowing you are valuable. Even in silence, when you live only for yourself, life feels small. When you live to give, life feels vast. That vastness fills your heart with purpose, and purpose is the soil where confidence grows. Questions. Giving does not reduce what you have, it multiplies it. It multiplies your joy, your respect, and most importantly, questions. And when you know your worth, no challenge, no criticism, and no failure can take away your confidence.